Paul, are you really ready to work out tomorrow? That's what Schilt told us.
I think I said just tell me what we're doing and I'll be there. So obviously the schedule's been crazy this year, and so I think that was kind of the gist of the joke, was not really knowing what was going to happen and just show up and be ready.
Can you describe for us what this schedule has been like, and I mean just the almost the extracurricular pressures that were on the team beyond the baseball field, and to get to where you guys wanted to go with the playoff berth? What how I guess relieving that is.
Yeah. I mean, the schedule was tough once you took 2+ weeks off and missed a quarter of the season and had to play, what was it, 11 or 12 doubleheaders, and had only those 2 off days and all that. I mean, mentally and physically is definitely, different and at times tough, but, kind of to the same point, you couldn't look too far ahead. And, I think there was a little bit of just freedom of, man, the odds were kind of stacked against us. And just kind of going out there and playing and seeing what was happening. And so, I mean, guys are going to approach it each way, and I'm not sure really the team. I think it was a little bit of both. Of course, you want to go out there and play well, but I think there was also, we kind of talked about it. There's, you had to throw some of the expectations out the window, not knowing what to expect after, taking those couple weeks off and all these doubleheaders and so many new guys and not knowing who was on the roster day to day and what it was going to look like. So it was very different, very fulfilling to be able to make the playoffs, and definitely enjoy it for today and then get ready for the Padres, I believe.
Paul, somebody that's not really knowing even who was on the roster. Were there games this season where you may have had teammates who you may not have met very often or spoken to more than 2 or 3 times before the game started?
Yeah, of course, especially that first week in Chicago. The starters couldn't go that deep into games. Their pitch counts were down. So guys are coming out of the bullpen. Even the bullpen guys, weren't really throwing back-to-back days and couldn't go multiple innings. So, there was definitely times where guys would come in and maybe they weren't in summer camp with us or weren't in spring training, and you're kind of learning them on the fly. It's a testament, to this organization, or the scouts that have drafted these guys and developed them in the minor leagues, minor league coaches, the guys that were in the alternate site, staying ready to come up and down, not knowing when their opportunity may come, and just everyone kind of, doing the best they could and staying on the same page. And, everyone did the best job they could and it was able to, get us in this spot now.
Paul, when you look at this team, but specifically the manager, Schilt won Manager of the Year last year, but when you look at what he accomplished this year, it's almost like grander, I suppose, because of all the craziness that was thrown your guys' way. What do you think about Schilt in 2020?
Yeah, he did a great job. It was just a total team effort. Just trying to, like I just was talking about, the pitching staff, especially early on, did so many new guys, and probably had to rely on his staff, to know a lot of these details. And half our staff was gone for a while too. So just a crazy year. Every team was dealing with a lot of the same stuff. We had to do it there with that shutdown, probably a little differently than most teams, but that's part of it. They did a great job, and like I said, just very, very fulfilling, and we'll definitely enjoy it and, but then be ready to go.
Well, how do you think you guys kept the energy up when, exhaustion, everybody would have allowed for some exhaustion when you had to be more distant than ever in the dugout after coming back from the outbreak? It seemed like there was a lot of enthusiasm today. How did you guys keep that alive?
I think just taking it day by day has been the biggest thing. You just couldn't look too far ahead. And, I think that's just kind of the norm in this organization. Playing against these guys, when I'd be playing first base and the Cardinals dugout was right there, I'd always hear the energy in the dugout. It was something I noticed, when I was with the Diamondbacks playing against them, and then coming over here and seeing it. Even the guys that weren't into the game or weren't, in the game were always, in there kind of cheering you on and, just staying positive and bringing that energy, and it helps you out when you're in the dugout, and even if you're in the game. So it's just a total team effort. Just had to keep going at it each day, and Just a great job.
You played 161 games last season. You've had 160 game seasons in your career. Anything like that compared to this season as far as the physical toll or the mental toll specifically?
It's just different because it was only over like 2 months, but it was definitely, with so few days off that our whole team had. But I think also knowing that it was, such a short time, and in a normal season, there's those off days built in, and there's tough stretches, and then you start the season and you're 5-6 months away. So I think that can kind of, I don't know if it's tougher or what, but it's definitely, more games over a longer period of time can just wear you down, but you have some off days. So, this, you understood it was more of a sprint than a marathon for everyone involved. And, it was just about trying to take it day by day, not look too far ahead. And, that was just my mindset. And, there's days, a couple times I showed up after a series and I wasn't sure who we were playing the next day or who was pitching and stuff like that. And, and then just because you just couldn't look too far ahead and the schedule was changing and all these different things, and just show up and play that game and go as hard as you can and win or lose or whatever, and just show up and try to do it again the next day.
Paul, can you give us maybe some insight into what your guys' celebration looked like down there after you clinched in the clubhouse?
No, guys were just excited. It's just different, with all the protocols that are in place, and we're trying to follow them to the best of our ability. But there's definitely a lot of joy and a lot of hard work put in, and just, some ups and downs like the normal season. This year's just been so different, on and off the field. And in some ways it was tough, and in some ways it was just different. And I think there's, like I said, it was just an appreciation for anytime you make the playoffs, but especially this year, there were so many other factors, just finding a way to get it done, going down to the last day, having a win today, having, a tough loss yesterday, having tough losses all throughout the year, having so many guys contribute. It was just, like I said, pretty fulfilling and just a great job by everyone, and definitely enjoy it. And, let's say, when we didn't play for 2 weeks, you had no idea what to expect. How were we going to play? For what was going to happen? What was the schedule going to be like? Kind of felt like if we made the playoffs, that was just going to be a huge accomplishment in itself, or to even be in the race. For us to do it, I do think is a great accomplishment. I'll say that, and we'll definitely enjoy it. And, but I think then is also, there's a lot more to go in the season. We don't want to just make the playoffs. You got a tough opponent coming up in a few days, and the other teams have been through a lot as well. And so I'm sure they're feeling the same way, but anytime you make the playoffs is special.